had to go to the ladies' room. I was so into what I was talking about. I remember where I left off at too. Okay, I'm gonna share this baby out. Okay. Okay. Share it out. Okay, I'm finished. Okay, I'm gonna wait maybe 1 minute or so, and I remember where I left off at too. Mm-hmm. Granddaughter. Sometimes you gotta take yourself back from a story because it can be emotional. But that ain't why I left though. But I felt the emotions coming. But if I cry, I cry. It ain't faking or nothing. I'm just a very that's just me. But anyhow, okay, as I was saying, she was in Daytona Beach. That's where they both was from, and he was in the military, and he had called and told her that he got housing. Recap, talking about anxiety, stress, things that happen in life. I was talking about where I left off at was my kid's father. He was in the United States Army. He was stationed. He went to the Gulf. He went to Desert Storm. We were in Germany, and then after we was lived in Germany for 4 years. Okay, Stuttgart, Germany, 4 years, and didn't have no family around. And I was also this is recapping. I was also saying how he helped me overcome a lot of things. I had a good life. Okay, with him. I was 18. He did not mold me. He was 33. He did not mold me. He did not mold me. I tell people that, and if any of my sisters get on here, he loved me. I could brag about it because I know he did. I want to say maybe 2 times. I'm gonna get to that once I get to the Daytona. Okay, so that was like a recap. So anyhow, he had called home. Hi, sister. How you doing? I subscribed to your channel. I'll share you out too. Yes. Get in these YouTube streets. I got 2 channels, okay? This is Mona's Vegan Lifestyle, and then I have another one with me and my granddaughter, and you got grandkids. So he had called her and told her that these lives help too, but you can't get it yet because you just started your channel. Once you go live, it's gonna be all the way live. Okay, do your shorts. I don't care if it's food. I don't care if you're getting on there saying how your day going. Just make some little videos, short videos, long videos, but you can't go live. But you can make some long videos from your phone and put it on your YouTube. I was just say Facebook, YouTube. hmm I have on this channel 517 subscribers, and on my other one, I think 118. But I just started that one too. But the watch hours is up over there, and I need to get my watch hours up over here. Come on, everybody, share it out, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification, thumb up. Don't forget to hit the like button. So, he called her and said he was ready for his family to come. She said, I don't want to come. And that's where I had left off at. And also, I did not break up no marriage. Okay. So, This is the second video. I had to go to the ladies' room, came back. This is part two of what I was saying on the other video. But anyhow, so she didn't travel with him. I did. My sister's right here. She can tell the story without me telling it. I was talking about when me and my kid's father met. And so, good life. We went back to the United States. He was stationed in Fort Carson, Colorado. I want to say 6 months. And if I'm not mistaken, it was June the 19th. Yeah. June 19, 1992 is when he got out. So that's when we decided, we was going to move to Kansas, Missouri, and then we moved to Florida, okay? I ain't gonna lie, I loved Florida. Daytona Beach. I've been to St. Petersburg, Tampa, Bradenton, Sarasota, Palmetto. Okay, my daughter was born in Manatee County, and we lived there for about 2 years. That's where it started. That woman depressed me and him. Okay. Honestly, that's my opinion. I think back and I got sick. When I say sick, I got sick. My sister right down here, she'll tell you. When she saw me, she used to just stare at me. I ain't gotta lie. I was so sick. And I think it became a mental thing because of what she was doing to him and us. She was trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip, so to speak, okay? Money, money, money. And when I tell you the last thing, y'all will think I'm lying when I tell you this one. He got down to where he owed her $1,000 because he had paid child support. And he just was tired. He wasn't married to her no more. He was done paying the child support, but not the alimony part. He said, F it. So I got sick. I had a gallstone attack. We didn't know what it was, but once we found out that's what it was, and I mean, I was sick for a long time before we really actually found out what I didn't know what was going on with me. I was losing weight. I was so sick, I didn't have a stomach lining. Straight truth. When you vomit or whatever up so much, that's acid and tore my stomach lining up. He waited till I got out of the hospital and told me, he said, there's something I need to tell you. He said, I got to turn myself in. Excuse me? Now I'm weak. Still, when you get out of the hospital, you ain't all together. You're still weak. Even after you have a baby, any surgery, anything that you endure for as like trauma, stress over your body, it takes you a while to come back from it. My son, let me get it right now. He was 8 years old. My daughter had to been 6. One was 6. One was about to be 5 because she was still 4. And then my baby was a year about to be 2. Okay? You heard me. I have no one in that state to help me. And I was sick. When I was in the hospital, I met this girl where I used to go play bingo at. And I knew her, but I didn't know her. I remember her name, Marie. She took my kids in. I was so sick to the point to where I even called the social services, DFS or whatever, to see if they can find any type of services to help me with my children. I couldn't even change my baby's pamper. I was sick, weak, all that. True story. My kids, if they was on here, they'd say it. My son was 8. He remembered all that. He used to thought juice was the cure for everything. He used to look out for me. My daughter was sick. She helped change her baby sister's pamper. She could put on the bed by me, and I could do the best I can. I was weak. He turned himself in. He was about 2 hours maybe from us for where we was living, where he had to go to Volusia County, which is Daytona Beach. And I was in the hospital, got out the hospital, like I said, and a week later ended up going back. My son had to call 911. Okay. Called 911, went to the hospital, thought I was having a heart attack, which it wasn't. It was anxiety real bad. And then come to find out, the lady asked me when I was in the hospital before, she said, have you ever had your thyroid checked? Didn't know what it was, okay? I'm 26 years old. And I have 4 kids. Your body goes through a lot, okay? So I didn't know what it was. So they did all these tests on me. I was in ICU. Repeat, ICU. I had the shakes. My eyes was like, but I trembled. I felt weak. I didn't feel like I had no life in me. I had thyroid, which is Graves' disease once they found out what it was. And off top, they, requested me to be on radiation iodine, okay? And I remember it was like a silver, I say jar or container. And it was a big pill in there, and it was just for me. No one else. I mean, it was specifically for me, okay? I took that one. And I couldn't eat, like I said. I didn't have no stomach lining. I was on shore. I had the spits. I carried a can. Once I got out of the hospital, I carried one of those tall juice cans. I had took the top off of it. My sister's right down here, my baby sister. And so when I got out the hospital, I was in there for a minute. I was in there probably a week. So altogether, a week. Went home for a week and went back. Okay, two different things. Maybe my gallstones threw it off. So once they figured out what was wrong with me, I started coming around. My kid's father's family was so freaking amazing. They didn't know I was in the hospital. So one would probably say, well, why his family? They didn't know. I got in contact with them, or the hospital got in contact with them, or something, and they found out what was wrong with me. I knew their numbers and stuff, and they did not hesitate to come. It was his baby sister and his brother's girlfriend. They came. And when they came to bring me home or to take me home, I remember the nurse saying these words. We don't know if this woman was going to make it. When she came in here, we didn't know if she was going to make it. I was in intensive care, y'all. I'm so serious. They took me home. I think we stayed there one day because, to get the things that we was going to take. And they drove me to Daytona Beach, which, like I said, 2 hours away, because that's where my kid's father was. He was in jail for 30 days. This man wasn't no bad man. That man was tired. How you going to take from his other kid's mouth just for your pleasures of what you was doing? And what you was doing was something that you didn't need money for. Even though you was granted, because you sued this man for a divorce while he was at a new duty station. Anybody that's been in the military, comment down below. You'll know what I'm talking about. He could not leave for 6 weeks, I want to say, because he was coming into a new uh, company, which duty station. Okay. So in the midst of that, you conniving. You told him when he came back from Korea, he was there a year to come home on vacation or leave, they call it, only for you to tell him you didn't want him, you didn't love him, and he slept on the sofa. And he leaves to come to his new duty station because he had to go because he couldn't go AWOL. That you go to prison for that. I didn't know him then. Okay, one would probably say, "You believe that story?" Yeah, I believe it because she told me some of it. Her daughter, I'm not forgetting what I'm saying, tricked me and said she was going to take me somewhere. I can't recall. And she ended up taking me over to, this is crazy. This was so like, why would someone do that? She ended up taking me over to her grandmother's house and her mom was there. She was in a white, like a Chevy, old school, nice car. She was driving. I was in the front on the passenger side. Her mom sat in the back of me, and her grandmother. It's almost like everybody was barricading me. She was on the outside. And they even told me because I was pregnant. This is before I moved to break to come back. So I'm going around. Not to have no more babies. That's all he want to do is keep you barefoot and pregnant. Excuse me? I told Albert, my kid's father, I don't know what you and him had going on because I wasn't there. But I know what me and this man had, okay? Jealous. Was jealous of me and my kids. I'm so serious. I know this. She told her daughter that the reason why me and my kid's father ended up getting divorced, but I ain't got that far along, it's because he beat me. Well, I hate to bust your bubble. That man ain't never raised a hand at me. I don't know what he did to you. Okay? I don't know what he did to you. And I wouldn't even say what I didn't know if he did anything to you, if you follow what I'm saying. But I know what he did to me. And as quiet as a cat, I don't even recall him ever cussing me out. But he told my mom one time, you saying something else, because something he did he had no business doing. And I did tell him at that point in time I was going to leave him because you in the army and you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. It was illegal. I'm just saying it like that. But not nothing to where he could go to prison because he wasn't harming no one or nothing like that. It's just that he could have jeopardized his career because he was in the United States Army. And I told him I was going to leave. I did. So, did he mold me? Hell no. I had a voice. I could be myself. I didn't have to fake. I wasn't body shame. I didn't feel low self-esteem or nothing. Nothing. But then the plot twist of it, I hear something. Ding. The plot twist of it, when we moved to Florida, because I ended up having my baby there, okay? I was pregnant when I met his first wife and daughter and her mother, okay? And her daughter's grandmother. But when we moved to Bradenton, Florida, that's where we live. I ended up having my daughter, okay? So she ended up being a year, almost 2. Because I said my son was 8, 6, 4, and almost 2. My kid's age. They came and got me and took me to Daytona Beach. My kid's father was just like this. He didn't want me to see him that way and his kids. He didn't want us to see him behind bars. But to know that his sister took good care of me and his niece, I ain't got nothing bad to say about them people. And right to this day, they love me. I say that speaks volume. I'm not a bad person. My daughter found, or her aunt found her number, vice versa, about 2 months ago. Every time, if my daughter get on here, she can comment. They ask about me. They love me. And I did not have no bad experience, but one time, I want to say two, that's when somebody stole my food stamps, okay? I was sick, I had food stamps, and I asked someone to go to the store for me, and they stole them because they was doing drugs, okay? I, I'm just keeping it real. That's when his youngest sister and niece, they came over there and was about to regulate. Straight up facts. I said, you know what? Oh my goodness, these people loved me. I felt so loved by my kid's father's family. I did. Almost to the point, almost make me emotional. They took me over to the stayed with his niece. Her name was Carol, and his older sister name was Carol. And she helped me back, for my strength and stuff, and helping me with my children and fixing me food and stuff like that so I can eat, but I still couldn't eat. I was like liquids, okay? It took me probably, after I got out of the hospital, maybe 4 months, maybe five, before I started eating food because I'm all over the place, seemed like, but we left, when my kid's father got out of jail. I basically almost gave him like an ultimatum. I'm not a controlling person, but I said this to him. I remember, I will never, don't ever want to go through this again. I want to move closer to family. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I'm a go. I'm not trying to force you to go, but I gotta go. My mental state and everything that I was going through, I needed to be around support, especially what happened to my children. I just knew this woman from bingo. Just knew her from bingo. And I said, God, I pray that nothing ever happened horrible to my kids. If you follow me, notification. My kids told me some things that the kids was mean and stuff like that. And this one lady, um, uh, uh, where we was living at when I was sick, my son, they was scaring my son with their pit bull, and my other daughter. I had four kids, but two of them, they seemed like they didn't care too much for her, and the other two they did. I nipped that in the butt quick, okay? You ain't gonna get no fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time. I find out something, I'm not taking my kids back to that. My son was terrified of dogs. He love them now. He do. Same way with my sister down here. We packed a Chevy Reliance two-door car. If y'all don't know what it looked like, Google it, okay? Uh, I said the wrong. It was a Plymouth, okay? Chevy, what is it? Plymouth. My mom had a Chevy Reliance. So it was a Chevy two-door. That's all I'm saying, because I don't want to lie. I know it was a Chevy. Well, anyhow, and it was two doors. We packed that car up with clothes, birth certificates, important documents in the trunk. And we had beautiful stuff because we had brought it back from Germany. We left and we sold and we gave away things. We ended up leaving our floor model TV, which was nice on size, a grandfather clock that I saved to get custom made in Germany to bring to the United States, and a curio cabinet. Those three things my kid's father wanted us to have because I saved for that. When he went to Desert Storm, I wasn't that wife that was just spending money crazy, and I saved so much to when he got out, came home from Desert Storm, we was able to get a brand new car off the floor show or show floor or whatever you want to call it. It only had 10 miles on that vehicle. It was a Mercury Tracer. That's because they had to drive it up the ramp, down. He was the only other person, probably, I don't know how many people, but between 2 to 3 people, the truck driver, the people in the thing, and him. A car got wrecked. Wrecked. WRECK. We still didn't own this car. We was making payments. And that's my granddaughter. We had to pay $5,000 to get it fixed. His sister wasn't supposed to drive. She lied to her brother anyhow, and hit some 2 people, which some elderly. I can't even talk. Elderly people. But the crazy thing of it is, she didn't leave no scratch or nothing. She fled the scene. They followed her, and when she brought it back to her brother's house, because that's where we were staying at one time when we was down there in Daytona, the cops knocked at the door and said, "Mr. Fagans, Albert, license plates." They ran it in. The whole passenger side was pulled back from the front to probably the back door behind the passenger door. Yeah. My kid's father cried like a baby. I think he was more hurt because she lied, and that was his baby sister. Okay. And I said one thing, kind of like being a little sarcastic, a little bit. I have to be honest. I asked him where was our car, and he said, "Don't worry about it." And I'm like, okay. And look what happened. I didn't throw that up at his face, though. I wasn't that type of person, but he did say that. And so I was like, okay. So we had to stay there. So we moved into a hotel. 4 kids. But I was that mom and he was that dad. Our kids went everywhere with us. Everywhere. We went fishing, they went with us. If we got shrimps and lobster, they got it. Uh, or we'll give them 3 choices between pizza, chicken, and hamburger. I'm just throwing that out there, or a meal if they want. And kids at that time, the age, what they would say. Anything between pizza and hamburger and chicken too. My kids love the chicken, so did their dad. So we had to stay there, I want to say a month for our car to get fixed. Just as soon as our car got fixed, we left Daytona and moved to Bradenton. This is when I got sick at in Bradenton. We was going back and forth from Bradenton to Daytona to go to court. I have never in my life experienced a money hungry person. No. And the thing of it is, how are you wanting more money from this man? He got a whole wife and 4 kids, okay? You and him are divorced, okay? You got 2 kids, one of them grown, okay? At that point in time, she was an adult, and a son that probably was in middle to high school. They had 2, maybe 1 to 2, but anywho, the story is unknown, okay? But he took care of it, regardless. My son looked just like his dad. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I look at my son, he's my oldest, and it just makes me sad. Because my son needs his dad. All my kids do, and I do too. We end up moving to Bradenton when that happened to the car. I have to take a pause sometimes because it's like a touchy situation. Right now, I should be balling. Moved to Bradenton. I ended up having my baby. I have three girls and a son. My son's the oldest. If I didn't say that, that's how many kids I have, and that's what I have: three daughters and a son. We was going back and forth. I said, what the hell does she want? I already said the part about hell, he got tired. And I think it tore us apart a little bit between my sickness, her doing what she was doing mentally, him too, not just me. He was probably just going through something. I just like, he had a good job. He didn't care before he got a good job. This man was working at rent centers and checkers. Okay. And then I was working at a phone center and he would work that too. A what? Three jobs? No, he had four. How is that? On his days off, he would work. On the days that he worked nights, he worked days, the other jobs. And it just, he could. Okay. But before he got the state job, he ended up being a detention center employee. What you call him? I don't know the title, but he worked in the youth detention center. That was a state job. I always was my kid's father's cheerleader. I always was his cheerleader. He was mine too. He always told the kids things about my child care and going to school, get my license, and I got licensed through the United States Army. Okay, I was that person. But what happened? I was mentally going through something. And when we moved to Kansas, I'm fast forwarding it, but I can go on and on. I can write a book. It was still there. And I think what made it be there still was I had a son that had ADHD, one that had seizures, started having seizures, and one had ADD. And I felt all alone. My kid's father was working. I never said you work too much. No, 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 no. Got it. He was working, and plus he was in the Army Reserves at this time. So again, military wife. I felt overwhelmed, and I felt still not healed. And I started taking my son to get help, and my daughter. And like I said, one day I was getting ready to get them ready for school and told them to come on. I said, "Come on," and my daughter, I didn't yell. I just said, "Come on, we're ready to go," that type of thing. If her brother hadn't been in the back where she probably would have fell and hit her head. That's the first time I noticed that my daughter was having seizures. That scared the hell out of me. But my CPR and first aid always kicked in. It scared me, but I didn't freak out. And I took it because I was a mom. I took it because I wanted to. And then also I took it because I had a daughter that had asthma. And it just made me say, you know what, you got kids, you need this. Even with my son being hard headed and the stick went through his leg and I saw what it looked like. Mm, mm, mm. I didn't freak out then either. I could have lost it. I had to be strong for him. I had to pressure on his leg, put pressure on his leg, put him in the car, take him to the hospital. Okay. And even when we got to the hospital, we still had to wait because they took a boy that had, I guess, because his tendons, whatever, and veins or whatever, arteries. That's what I'm trying to say. They took him in before my son because of that. And he came out. I never forget. The boy was in middle school, and he told my son. He said, because my son was what 8 then or whatever. He said, "It's gonna be okay." He said, "You brave. You can get through this. You can do this, or whatever." And my son went in that room when they had to clean him up and stitch him, and he has on his left leg a V. a V, a V, a letter V. That's the shape of the injury and the stitches. Literally, his meat, skin, or whatever was back. And all I can remember right to this day is like deep black hole I seen or saw. Y'all, I'll correct myself if I feel the need to. But me and my kid's father, I think, have been mentally torn apart. I'm gonna take my responsibility for my part, okay? I went to counseling. I don't care about sitting on somebody's couch, talking to somebody. If we can't talk and seem to get solutions, we weren't arguing. It was just that experience tore us apart. So I'm focusing on my kids and I'm focusing on wanting to get my mental health back together because of what happened when I was there. I hadn't completely healed. I went from having gallstone surgery, told that I had Graves' disease, but all this, and then going to a different part of Florida to be close to my kid's father so I can get help with my kids. And then when he get out, we just boom, bam, leave. No time to grasp at what was really going on. And I say all that to say, I love my kid's father. I was a lost soul, and I believe he was too. We didn't, I did, but I'm talking about together because we was a married couple. I say we let that woman tear us apart. I'm gonna say that. And as much as we loved each other, it should have been stronger. But again, you got to think of his frame of mind. I'm not just making it be about me. Where he was at, and my frame of mind. My kid's father was the type of person, he didn't put his pride in the way, but for him to have to go to jail, that had to have been devastating. Leaving his family, leaving his sick wife with four young kids. Yes, that's ugly. Four. No family until I moved. His sisters and them found out. I don't, right to this day. I think the nurses or the doctors or the hospital, somebody got in contact with them. I had numbers. And so, or maybe I called them. I don't remember that part, but they ended up coming. Okay. Um, my kid's father passed away on Father's Day of 2017. His sister ended up passing away the following week. So he only had one sister that's living. His older brother had been passed away. And the same way with my mom. My mom passed away, and she only had one living siblings out of all of her siblings. And what I'm going through now and experiencing now, I wouldn't go through it. Everybody needs, I don't give a damn if somebody said they don't, need someone to talk to. Hmm. And people pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll talk to you for thus long or thus far, but then they'll talk to someone else that got or have or has more issues than you. But they make it seem like you got all the issues. People prey on folks, okay? I had a problem. My problem was letting people mistreat me, lie, use, and manipulate. Am I done for letting it happen? Yeah, it won't no more. I don't give a damn who you is. No, okay? That's why I say the only man that ever loved me was my kid's father. What about your dad? That's another story. I don't have nothing bad to say about my dad, but that's another story. and no, I can't compare. Because, like my daddy said, when you get in a relationship, when you marry, have kids, each relationship with your mom, sisters, and your kids' father and stuff like that, it's different. So you love on a different level, right? When he left us, my kids was broken, not broken, broken. I'm making up words tonight, and I know I am. I'm trying to keep my wits about me. I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to. But how strong is a person? Like I said, long before when I came on here, my YouTube channel was about positive. This is not negative. This is light, motivation. Talk about depression and anxiety, weight loss journey, maybe suicidal thoughts. But I'm not too focused on that. But it can lead to it, right? That's not my thoughts. Suicidal. Depression, anxiety, yes, I have. And today I had one. I had a panic attack. Straight up, no lie. You see my face? In fact, I did. And it had to do with a lot of stuff. So I said, oh my goodness, what the freaking heck? Made it seem like I had never been outside. I don't go nowhere. For real. I do stuff and fun stuff with my grandkids and my daughter. So today, when I was out and about, we was out 6, 7 hours, and I saw people, and the kids had a good time. I had a ball. I played at the arcades. Okay, I felt like I was back in high school because I used to love to go to the arcade. Matter of fact, I ran away to the arcades just straight up, and I had a good time. I used to like playing Pac-Man and Galaxy and Galaxy. I guess that was the game or whatever, and all the games in there. Today, I was sitting up there playing with my youngest one. They got this game called Nerf, and you shoot. I was playing with her. I said, "Oh my goodness!" So I went and got some money and put it on my card. Right? I played $10, and I got on the high score board 200 something thousand. I think it was like 230 something thousand. To get up there. And I told my daughter, I said, "You know what? That was releasing a lot. Doing that, I was focused, and I felt like the positive energy coming through my body, and that made me feel so good." And I was talking to my daughter, and there was men's, okay, passing by, smiled at me, smiled back, saying hello. I said hello. My daughter said, "See, Mom, that's what you need. You need a social life." I know I need a social life. I had always said it. And I felt good to be, not trying to be funny. She get on there. I don't know if they didn't speak to my daughter. They were speaking to me, saying hello to me and looking at me. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. I can put myself together. I know this. I'm very convinced in whatever I do. I'm not arrogant or cocky. If I want to look a certain way, only thing I gotta do is, hey, have somebody do my hair. I got all types of jewelry and necklaces and accessories and stuff like that. Clothes and shoes too, purses, pocketbooks, handbags too. Okay, perfume, mist, whatever. Lipstick. That's me. I love my lipstick. But today I had a good day. I had a good day. I didn't wear no scarf on my head. I got noticed. I got on just nothing but a black shirt that I bought. It says bling mode, okay? And some no, I don't have them on now. I got on my house shorts, but I had on some black and white shorts, and then I had on some sandals. Of course, earrings and this beautiful bracelet. I have a lot of accessories. And the thing of it is every year I want to, because I don't like to plan. I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. And now I have a big responsibility. And daughter. She's a good child. She cares about my feelings. I care about hers, her well-being. I said we got each other. And as much as I hate to say this, and I'm not trying to get emotional, if she had to leave, I'm gonna be devastated. I'm doing very good, y'all. Holding back the tears. But I don't know what made me get on here and talk, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. Hit the notification, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get some watch hours. And the whole purpose, I can tell everybody my purpose of wanting to get monetized on this platform is for myself and my children, my granddaughter. I don't care. I, now, this is the thing. I could spoil you, but discipline you too. I don't have to do that with her right now. Okay? She's 10 years old and she listens. She helps me. Matter of fact, I told her, I said, she helped me with a love seat because I got, like I showed, furniture I have, right? Well, it is furniture, my tables. And so I had my love seat here, my sofa over there, and I have a den back there. I want the couch to be back there and my love seat over here because I love it. The couch, one of the arms is busted up, okay? And what I had to do was take a hammer to beat the nails down because I didn't want me or anyone else to get hurt. And it was given to me. That's where I say I'm at a point in my life where I'm ready to have nice things and do things to make myself feel good. It's rewarding and it makes me feel good to look at the fruits of my labor. And I got it myself. I'm not using nobody's money. This is mine's. Mine's. But I would say this. My kid's father is still taking care of me. I know he's not being selfish. I know he'll be around me. And I know he see what I'm doing. But he is. What, baby? Uh-huh. I'm talking on live, baby.
I know you're crying.
No. Mm-mm. I was talking about you, helping me with the furniture. See, she in here, she heard me. I told y'all. Um, I told him about you having stronger muscles than me. And she helped me. She really did. I ain't gonna lie. I said, "Oh my!" She didn't hurt herself. It was like a little tug thing because I was right by her, but she did it. She maneuvered it, not me. Did you eat your food? Mm. You want to share a soda? Okay, when I get off here, we can share one. I'm gonna get some ice. That's why I got some ice trays. I ain't had no ice trays in a minute. I got
Oh, I
these
thought
little
those were
bitty.
blue ones.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like those is just something
Fun, like fun.
for the kids, smoothies or whatever. But
You
anyhow,
got like the butterfly.
they. I'm just gonna end this live on this note saying,
I know it's butterfly because I see them before. I know how the actually is was butterflies because um I seen it a lot like a lot of times before when we always used to make ice and stuff.
so that's what we about to do. We about to go in here.
Why don't
You
we
can get a popsicle.
Why don't we trying to make juice?
We'll probably do it tomorrow.
Juice ice.
Matter of fact, if Melvin and Marley come up, we can probably make some juice ice, juice. Not there. You go. See, she know how to finish my words.
She's tired. That's why she.
No, I was trying to hold back. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did really good. Yes, I was doing really good. I just didn't want to break down. I really didn't. But anywho, so as I always say, be you, do you, for you, and love yourself. I have to be strong even if I'm not. Have a good one.